The Once Lost Games team recently released a developer diary and also shared some updates in their podcast, Wayward Radio. For those who don't know, Wayward Realms is the spiritual successor to the Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, and the team launched a Kickstarter campaign last year to fund 1 full year of development on an early access build with the hope of securing a publisher. In this video, I will go over my observations from the developer diary. Let's get started then. Ted Peterson, the game director of Wayward Realms and the CEO of Once Lost Games, gave us an update on ditching the Unreal Engine. The features they wanted to create were not possible in the Unreal Engine, and apparently many talented engineers have reached out to the team to work on this new engine. So the team's focus is all about the engine development and the features that have to be built in. As per this comment, the Wayward Realms team has moved to an internal fork of the Wicked engine. This is an open source engine that seems to have a solid foundation and is free to use and fork. Furthermore, it is under MIT license, meaning that you can create proprietary closed source forks without issue. So essentially, the Wicked engine is made by Turansky Janos, who has been working on it for over a decade and has done some truly incredible things with it. The main things it gives the Wayward Realms team are a real solid graphics rendering pipeline, a bunch of amazing API design, a ridiculously fast editor startup, and a very efficient entity component system. In terms of the proprietary stuff, here are the systems that will be added by the Wayward Realms team. The Million NPC system, town generators, dungeon generators, world events, magic system, virtual game master, dynamic world database, infinite quest generation system. At the engine level, the main scripting language is Lua, which is a huge part of the engine, but the Wayward Realms team has fully replaced it with AngelScript, which shares a lot with C++ and C#. They have partially replaced the terrain system, fully replaced the audio and music systems, partially replaced the physics and collision, fully replaced the built-in character system, fully replaced the included animation and rigging systems, and are currently in the process of fully replacing the UI system. The team is also implementing their own dynamic VFX engine for Magic, which was already partially built in Unreal and just needs to be transferred over and finished. That is a lot of engine modification work which is going on right now. You will see some of the new features of the engine later in the video. The team also shared some insights on the performance of the new engine. You may pause the video to read this. It is pretty cool that the loading of the island of Ijar happens in just 1 second. That is crazy revolutionary. I really look forward to future demos by the team. Looks like a lot of thought has gone into the features that are being added to the engine. Also, I love the support for modding. Surely the modding scene of the Wayward Realms will explode in the coming years. All of this new engine work has ensured that the early access build has been delayed to June of this year. So that's the engine update. Do share your thoughts on the engine change. Do you know anything about the Wicked engine? If yes, do share some insights in the comments. Do you feel this is the right move, or should the team have continued with Unreal Engine? Kai, the technical director of the team, spoke about how they built a map editor tool that they will use within the engine. The map editor can be used to rapidly make changes to the world map, and these changes can be viewed in-game. As you can see here, they are editing the map of the starter island of Ijar. Each tile here represents 10 square meters. The island of Ijar is 4 times the size of Manhattan, New York. The devs show how they can change the biome of a region within this tool. They can also dynamically change the amount of spread this biome has over this area. They can view the changes instantly after saving them in the tool. They then switch to the civilization layer and edit a small section of the map. Here, few huts are placed in a small region. When they add a home, the system also adds a few NPCs from the database and assigns them to each home. They then save their work, and when they load the game world, all the changes are reflected with homes rendered in this area of the map. Seeing the complete map of the archipelago for the very first time is truly impressive. It makes the island of Ijar look minuscule compared to the massive main game world. Wow, my mind is blown. They can use the tool to change the biome in the other areas of the map as well. They go to the southern area of the map and change the desert biome to deciduous forests. The demo showcased an example of how quickly developers can implement and immediately view modifications to the game world. Although procedural systems handle the core world generation, this tool allows for simple application of custom changes. I was completely amazed when Kai revealed the world map, seeing that the starter island looked so tiny, like a single pixel compared to the vast main islands. Essentially, the map is a massive procedurally generated world that simulates a real-world fantasy life. What do you guys think about the giant game map of Wayward Realms? For me, the major concern is whether the immense scale of the world will necessitate frequent menu navigation and loading screens, a primary criticism often leveled against games like Starfield. Given the large map, how will the experience of manual wilderness travel be? And will players be able to occasionally forego constant fast travel for more engaging, immersive journeys? I discussed this important question in my previous Wayward Realms update video in detail. I will leave the link in the description. The team also showed how NPCs in the Wayward Realms database are represented in this image. Essentially, each pixel represents one NPC with its own properties. In a 500,000 square kilometer world, every NPC can be tracked that includes their ID, their XYZ location, and other properties all in a single image. This NPC data can be cached in-game live at all times. And they also explain how the NPC data can be manipulated in-game. If a world event occurs, such as the death of the king or a member of the royal family, the system can update the rumor data for a large set of NPCs who will now be aware of this new news. The net result of this system is that all the million NPCs are active when the player is in-game. These NPCs can interact with each other whether the player is near or not. The world is constantly alive and moving in a high-performance manner. This, according to me, is a brilliant idea that will offer a completely new experience compared to our beloved Elder Scrolls games, where only a small set of NPCs are active when the player is in the loaded cell. I look forward to more demos of this million NPC system. The developers share more details of their questing system and how the same quest will lead to totally different experiences in every playthrough. This is super interesting and exciting. They talk about a quest example. You have a quest giver who's a merchant who wants us to check on his cart carrying special rum. He abandoned the cart and had to flee as there were wolves nearby. All of the quest data is stored in a graph database as seen here. If the player travels to this location, the system creates the cart, the case of rum, maybe a few wolves. But this data can also be manipulated, which can lead to unexpected experiences. For example, if the player visited this location earlier and encountered some bears, and again revisits this location when doing this quest, they will encounter dead wolves and live bears. That is just one variation. If the player does not visit this location immediately and talks to some other NPCs who are thieves, they can expect those thieves to be at the location. The merchant can also enlist the help of other NPCs, not only the player. So when you travel to the location, you can expect to find other adventurers or NPCs there. Thus, a simple quest like this can lead to multiple experiences in each playthrough and within a playthrough. This kind of quest system clearly shows the advantage of keeping the entire world active and running in the background at all times. This is very exciting. These Wayward Realms developers are so clever and brainy. I really look forward to experiencing these dynamic quests in the summer. Next, the developers say all the game data is run through a natural language processing system which translates basic sentences into a more floral, expressive, personality-fitting expression of the same thing. Here they show a demo of a dialogue system and talk to an NPC about the location. The NPC says Anse Mignon, a pitiful little village with lazy fishermen, blah blah blah. The tone of the response reminds me of Daggerfall. Very interesting. So next time we speak to an NPC about a location, you can expect different responses because of the natural language processing system. I hope there can be some intelligence applied to these responses if we ask the NPC about the same location 2 times, and if we ask again, they should get pissed off. The dialogue system is great. Some people may want voice acting, but the lack of it is why we can get so much variety. But the most important thing I notice is the sardonic tone and the facetious nature of certain responses. It all reminds me of Daggerfall and I love it. We get a glimpse of the work in progress menu UI, a beautiful paper map of iJar. At the top you see the character's name, race, gender and player's level. Then we have the map, the journal, the inventory, the character and spells. We have an option to search for places. Very cool. I assume we can read about these places in-game. Some sort of a bestiary but for places. We then get to see the journal UI. Wow, we have the current quests and completed quests on the right. We have 3 tabs in the center: quests, documents and lexicon. I assume the documents tab will contain all the quest related notes and or books. What do you guys think? The center has a quest description. I assume all steps of the quest will be documented like Morrowind. On the right hand side we see the relevant people, locations and items. Interestingly, we see some Elder Scrolls books listed here. What? I'm sure they are placeholders. Will we see a list of books relevant to the quest here? That is super interesting. The lexicon section shows all the factions on the left. We have the characters, items, places and bestiary. Wow, so much reading material in game. Very exciting. This test character does not have any interactions with the thieves, so his reputation is 0 with that faction. However, the character has a plus 30 reputation with the Baron's Men faction. We also have the list of completed quests for the faction. Each quest offers varying amounts of reputation points. Brilliant. Here we see the spell list UI. We have Frozen Fire Mine, Fire Mine, Frost Mine. The delivery method is unknown. Maybe they behave like Skyrim runes. The other spell types have the delivery method listed here. Here we see a projectile and a beam. Interesting. In the tabs above we see staves. I assume we find all our staves here. Then you have cantrips. These are small number of major spells that you can cast as often as you want. And then there's something called triggers. I don't know what that is. And then we have rituals. Yes, the magic system of the Wayward Realms is very interesting. The player can combine invocations and a delivery method to create custom spells. You can make one-time use spells when you combine an invocation and a delivery method. Or you can take that and do a ritual to create a major spell, which is a permanent spell. How do you find these invocations or magic effects? You get them by completing quests or stumbling into them in the world via books or tomes. I am very excited about the magic system of the Wayward Realms. I look forward to exploring this. Do share your thoughts about the Wayward Realms quest journal and the UI seen here. Alright guys, we have come to the end of this Wayward Realms update. Thank you to all the developers for sharing so much with the community. Open development is the way to go and these kinds of devlogs are appreciated. Best wishes to Once Lost Games for the publisher hunting, and hopefully all of us get to explore the opening island soon. All the relevant links are in the description. Do join and support the team. May the gods of the archipelago watch over you.